Now, here's my plan for the back. As you can see, I have the fender flares off. As you can also see, I bolted the frame on with self-tapping screws. So with the back, I'm not too worried about clearance. I don't really want to cut into the fenders of the car because I think I can still fit 315/40s without getting any rub. Or maybe just 305s. Or I might even just do 305/35 just to give myself an extra clearance. But right now I'm running 275/40s. I know it's a little weird. I'm running 85s up front, but those were smaller in height, which is why I ran them up front. Plus I burned through tires like crazy. So what I plan to do here is I'm going to do a little bit of a hybrid of what I did before. So on the top part here, where the main part of the fender flare goes, I'm just going to do the 3M tape. I did that on my Charger wide body here, as you can see, and it's still holding up pretty nice, even with 3M tape. Now the fronts of the Charger, especially if I go with the bigger wheels that I'm planning to, I'm probably gonna have to cut. But I want to make this as easy on myself as possible and not have to do cutting if I don't have to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna 3M tape this main big fender flare here. However, this piece right here that goes underneath it on this rear quarter panel, this one is seriously hard to put on. It doesn't fit on the body as it should. So for this one, I will be doing a custom bolt on. So with that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean it up, put masking tape, and then draw my lines. And then what I plan to do, just to show you guys, very carefully put this down. I'm going to put 2 bolts, just 1 and 2. You know, I feel like the less holes I drill into the frame, the better, or into the body, the better. So I'm just gonna do the same thing I did. Elevator bolts, 1 and 2, mark their locations here, and that'll keep it nice and tight. Now, I wanna show you guys a little custom modification I did here real quick before I start working on this. So this piece right here had a little bit of an issue matching the body line here nicely. So what I did is, to get it flush under here, I put a little self-tapper right here, nobody can see it, and then I put another self-tapper right there. I plan on doing the same thing with this one. Oh, I already did. I already did. Right there, as you can see. So this is rock solid, it's not going anywhere. This one also has an issue with staying on, as you can see, with the 3M tape to plastic. So I'm gonna do the same thing, self-tapper right down here, but I wanna make sure I get this right first. So again, my game plan is 3M tape here, 2 bolts here, and that should really be it. I can't wait to be done with this wide body. I've been working on it for way too long. I'll be painting that one soon. This one came out solid as well, as you can see. Same thing I did down here, 2 self-tappers, and it's nice and snug. I'm gonna work on the other side as well. The only thing I'm waiting on is this piece from Vicrez. Should be coming soon. They accidentally sent me the Charger front piece. So this has been over 3 months I've been waiting for one part from Vicrez. Not too happy about that, but eventually it'll get done. And that one's going to be a whole different project than this one, because this is the old version, which I already showed you guys how I set that up. The new version has little tabs in that I'm gonna have to drill precise holes into the body to slide in and then screw in. I mean, I'll show you that when I get there. So again, I'm just gonna start on the next step here, get this all cleaned up perfectly, put some masking tape down here, and mark my lines. I'll show you how it goes, guys. What's up, YouTube? It's Hellcat J back here. So remember I told you guys I was gonna 3M tape the top. I don't plan on cutting the fender unless I absolutely need to. So that's what I did. I then decided that I was gonna bolt on this back piece, turn it into a custom bolt on, because this piece has a hard time fitting on the fender nicely. So let me show you guys how that came out. So after I JB welded the 2 elevator bolts like I showed you guys, you can see it's solid. It ain't going anywhere. So that being said, I'm ready to drill my holes. But there's a little prep work you have to do. So first things first, you jack up the car, you take off your wheel, obviously. I took the piece of the wide body off. It's like a little something like this, but it goes down here. I took that off completely. And then I took off 1, 2. The first 2 were these kind of clips. You have to drill them out. And then the last one up here was a 10mm bolt. So I took that out too. That will allow you to peel back and have easy access to do your custom bolt on. So that's where we're at right now. My boy Coyote Claudio, he's helping me out. Shut that off for a second, Claudio. So as you see, with the JB weld, you want to make it as flush as you can over here. That way when you push it up to the body of the car, it sits nice and flush against the car. You see, like this one, the JB weld dried a little sloppy from the way I applied it, but that's okay. You can just sand it down so that it comes out nice and even like that. So that's the goal here. Also, these elevator bolts have a square portion in the middle, so you want to make sure you sand around that as much as you can so it can fit in as best as it can. All right, so that's what we're working on now, and I'll show you guys how we do the drilling of the holes. What's up, YouTube? It's Hellcat J. So I finally finished mounting the rear wide body fender flares on my car. It's a bit of a process, let me tell you. So because the rear has more clearance, I decided not to chop up the fender of the car. I left it stock. I didn't chop anything up in there. I just drilled in all the fender brackets that go beneath the fender flare for stability, with the main part of the fender flare right here. Oop, other way. Right here. I 3M taped it, and the gaps came out pretty good, as you can see. The only issue is this back piece right here really just didn't want to stick onto the body with tape, so I made this one a custom bolt on it, as I had previously showed you guys. So I made bolts about right here and right here to just hold it down. However, when I made the bolt right here, there's like a inner lining of plastic that I couldn't get the bolt through, so I actually had to take the whole bumper off and just Dremel off it's like a plastic bridge that goes horizontally like so. I had to Dremel off a section of this plastic bridge so that I could actually get to the bolt on the other side and put the washer and the nut. But other than that, it came out pretty good, as you guys can see. Showing you a walk around to the car. This is the fronts, which I completed a while back. Obviously, like I said before, I have to get them rewrapped. She's looking good, guys. She's almost done. Waiting for that one from Vicrez. Should be coming in this week. And yeah, guys. And then I just completed the right side here. So that's about it. Overall, the bolt-on, custom bolt-on process, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience. You just got to really be cognizant of what you're doing, all the little adjustments you have to make. But I think it's much better than the 3M tape option, because even though I had a pretty solid, you know, technique with putting the 3M, for example, on my charger, you can already see this 3M is starting to come off a little bit, which really is annoying me. I mean, you know, it is what it is over here too. And this was solid before, and now look at these gaps with the 3M tape. So I'm gonna have to redo this one too, but you know, these projects take time. Overall though, she still looks good too, my charger, the wide body. And guys, look at how this wide body's coming out. So the rears are pretty much done. Little side notes of other things that I did. Just to keep this line as best as possible, I drilled in a little self-tapper here. And you know, to make it as perfect, and then down here I did the same thing, like right here, to keep this line good, but this still comes up. So I'm literally just gonna get a black self-tapper and then drill that right there to make it absolutely perfect. I mean, I don't care if a little black self-tapper shows down there. So yeah, this is how she came out, guys. You guys tell me what you think from front to back. You know, now that I think about it, I maybe should have just bought a factory wide body, but I didn't have factory wide body money at the time. Plus I got a hell of a deal on this Hellcat, 50 G's for 8,000 miles. Nowhere was any other Hellcat selling for that price. The cheapest one I could find at that price range was no less than 60,000. So, you know, and plus I have the pride of, you know, turning her into my own, you know, like this is my wide body that I did, and that's my wide body that I did, you know. Like I said, I'm not a body guy, I'm not a mechanic, I'm just a car guy with a bunch of tools who's not afraid to experiment. So if you're like me and you like the DIY, stay tuned for more stuff, because we're really trying to take this stuff to the next level. But I hope you guys enjoy the content and how it came out. My two babies sitting with me right here. Till next time, YouTube.